पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति तरुभ्यश्च कृपा नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे। Okay, let's begin with a kirtan. O he Vaishnava Thakura, Dayara Sagara, Vidase Karuna Kori. O he Vaishnava Thakura, Dayara Sagara, Vidase Karuna Kori. Diya Pada Chai, Sodo Hi तुम्हारा चरण दोरी। छाया बिगाधो में छाया दोषा सोदी, छाया गुणा देहो दासे। छाया सत्संगे देहो हे आमारा, बोशेची संगेरा आशे। एकाकी आमारा नाही पाया बाला, हरि नाम संकीर्तना। तुम्ही कृपा कोरी श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया, देहो कृष्ण नाम धाने। कृष्णा से तुम्हारा कृष्णा दीते पारो, तुम्हारा शक्ति आछे। आम्ही तो कांगाला कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली, दाई तवा पाचे पाचे। ओ हे वैष्णवा ठाकुरा, दयारा सागरा, दासे करुणा खोरी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, can anybody read the translation? A very short translation. Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Keshav Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Yeah.
Krishna. Translation. O Venerable Vaishnava, devotee of Krishna, O ocean of mercy, be merciful unto your servant. Give me the shade of your lotus feet and purify me. I hold on to your lotus feet. Teach me to control my 6 passions, rectify my 6 faults, bestow upon me the 6 qualities, and offer unto me the to carry on alone the Sankirtana of the holy name of Hari. Please bless me by giving me just 1 drop of faith with which to obtain the great treasure of the holy name of Krishna. Krishna is yours. You have the power to give him to me. I am simply a servant running behind you shouting Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So it's such a meaningful bhajan. Right? So it says over here, Krishna is yours. You have the power to give him to me. Right? That's exactly what happens in Diksha ceremony, right? Krishna belongs to the senior Vaishnavas. Krishna belongs to our spiritual master, and he simply gives the Krishna in him to us. That's all. He just transfers, right? So that's why, you know, the song is entirely based on Vaishnava Thakur. That means Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas are like desire trees, right? So because Krishna belongs to them, Vaishnavas have the power to give us the Krishna. So Krishna says, worship me, yes, I'm happy, but if you worship my devotees, I'm happier, right? So if you want to make Krishna happier, more happy, then you need to worship his devotees, Vaishnavas. That's when he becomes more happy. Right? So let's begin on that note. Okay, we need to do 8.3.66 shloka, right? We did the purport that day. We read the purport, we couldn't discuss it. Yeah, so here it says an artist on stage being covered by attractive dresses and dancing with different movements is not different by his audience. Similarly, the activities and features of the supreme artist cannot be by the demigods or great sages, and certainly not by those who are unintelligent like animals. Neither the demigods and sages nor the unintelligent can understand the features of the Lord, nor can they express in words his actual position. May that supreme personality of Godhead give me protection. So, in the purport, we have a lot of concepts, right? But one main thing that we need to understand here is it clearly says over here an artist on stage being covered by attractive dresses and dancing with wonderful movements is not understood by his audiences, right? When you go to a drama show on stage, people dress up. A female also plays male characters, right? Dressing up, wearing those costumes and all that. You'll really not identify if the makeup is too good. You'll really not identify whether it's a girl or a boy playing a boy's role. The same way, we saw that sweeper and Krishna story last class, right? We know only, it's very limited about ourselves, but Krishna knows about everybody and everything. You know, I know landlords in the kingdom, right? A landlord knows only about himself, but a king knows about every landlord in the kingdom, right? Every landlord in his jurisdiction, right? Which landlord possesses how much land, what are his transactions, everything he knows, tax, everything he knows, right? So exactly, king is just like lord, a lord is just like the king here. Everybody, but we don't know, right? That's why we learned in the last class, Krishna can never give us darkness. Maya is the darkness, not Krishna, right? So it is said that Krishna, Krishna is compared to Mangalam, right? Anand ke Murtiman. He is Anand ke Murtiman. He is the deity of happiness. Okay, he is the deity who bestows happiness. He is the deity of happiness. So, Krishna knows, he's Trikala Jnani. He knows our past, present, and future. Not of this Janma alone, our future Janmas and our previous Janmas. Everything he knows, right? But we are too insignificant, right? We don't even know what happened a few years ago. A few years ago, on this particular date, this particular month, okay, that particular year, do you remember at this particular moment what you were doing? No, right? Because we cannot remember. We are very limited in our senses and memory. But Krishna knows what has happened, not just in this janma, in our past janma also, right? So, with our incapable potency, limited potency, we make plans, right? And when those plans do not work, we sit and cry saying, Krishna failed us, right? Krishna did not give me what I want, right? We start blaming God, right? This has happened to us. All of us have done this, right? But we need to understand that what you have asked for might not be good for you in any way, right? Because Krishna knows your future. Krishna knows your future. He connects the dots better, right? So Krishna plans your life with your past, present, and future in mind. But you plan your life with past and present in mind. That is the difference, right? So future element is very important. Otherwise, you never know what is going to happen, right? With the plans that you make and execute the plans that you've made. So Krishna brings all the pieces. Our life is like jigsaw puzzle. Okay, Krishna is the one who brings all the pieces of the puzzle and makes a beautiful picture of our lives. Okay, but we do not know half of the things happening in our lives, right? We do not know anything basically, right? So with that limited knowledge, it's our own foolishness to plan our life or say I want my life to be like this, I want my life to be like that, right? It's outright foolishness. And so I was listening to a lecture, okay, so say there it said Krishna is incapable of giving distress to anybody. Krishna is incapable of giving darkness in anybody's life. Can you imagine? Right? Because Krishna is Mangala Bhavan, Mangala Bhavan, Amangala Hari, Amangala Hare, right? Krishna, the name of Lord Hari means, anybody knows what does the name Hari means? Anybody? No one knows. So Hari means that Hari Shabda Nana Arte Dui Mukhyatama Sarva Amangala Hare Prema Diye Hare Mana. Right? So Hari has lot of meanings, okay? But two meanings are very important. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's given Dui Mukhyatama, okay? Only two meanings are important. What are those two meanings? Sarva Amangala Hare. Okay, he takes away everything inauspicious in anybody's life. Okay, Sarva Mangala Hare and Prema Diye Hare Mana. So he gives love and steals your heart. These are the two important meanings. He takes away everything inauspicious. Second meaning, he gives you love, right? By taking away your heart, by stealing your heart, right? So that's why Krishna is compared to Chitta Chor, right? So he just steals away people's heart, right? So that is Krishna. Krishna is incapable of giving darkness or distress or sadness to anybody, right? Sarva, he said, that's why it is said, he gives pleasure. Lord Ram, meaning of Lord Ram is he gives pleasure. Meaning of Lord Hari is he takes away everything inauspicious, right? So that's why Krishna has said, Amangala Bhava, Mangala Hari, right? Amangala Bhava, Mangala Hari. He is incapable of giving any inauspiciousness to anybody, right? So that's very important. We need to live our life on those terms. Otherwise, because everything is material, we already know, right? Everything is temporary. And our temporary plans our permanent plans for temporary existence is not going to take us anywhere. Okay. So it's very important. Yeah, next, let's go to next shloka. दिदृक्षवो यस्य पदं सुमङ्गलं विमुक्तसङ्गा मुनयो सुसाधवः चरन्त्यलोकव्रतम् अव्रणम्बने भूतात्मभूता renunciants and great sages who see all living beings equally, who are friendly to everyone, and who flawlessly practice in the forest the vows of brahmacharya, vanaprastha, and sannyasa, desire to see the all auspicious lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. May that same Supreme Personality of Godhead be my destination. Can anybody read the purport? It's a very small purport. Yes, Kirti Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This verse describes the qualifications for devotees or persons highly elevated in spiritual consciousness. Devotees are always equal to everyone, seeing no distinction between lower and higher classes. Pandita Samadakshinaha. They look upon everyone as a spirit soul who is a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Thus, they are competent to search for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Understanding that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the friend of everyone, Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam, they act as friends of everyone on behalf of the Supreme Lord, making no distinction between one nation and another, and one community and another. They preach Krishna consciousness, the teachings of Bhagavad Gita everywhere. Thus, they are competent to see the lotus feet of the Lord. Such preachers in Krishna consciousness are called Paramahamsas. As indicated by the word Vimukta Sangha, they have nothing to do with material conditions. One must take shelter of such a devotee in order to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. Yeah, so here it is said a devotee sees everybody equally, right? Pandita Samadarshana, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmana Gavihastine, right? An elephant, dog, Brahmana, everybody is same. Everybody is equal. A learned person, Pandita, does not differentiate, right? Why Pandita? Why he doesn't differentiate? What? Anybody knows? Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, because he sees Paramatma within everybody and he would not like to discriminate.
Yeah, Paramatma is there even in a dog's body, hog's body, Brahmana's body also, right? So when Pandita is respecting, he doesn't respect the body, the decaying body. No, he respects the Paramatma in everybody's heart, right? And that definitely makes a lot of difference, right? So devotees, where is it given? Here, yeah, devotees are always equal to everybody, seeing no distinction between lower and higher classes, right? So there is a story in this relation, okay? So one day what happened, there was a place, there was a village, okay? So in that village, one day what happened, there was a gathering, a huge gathering, okay? So everybody was running, everybody, shop people, everybody, they were closing their shop to that, to see, to join that gathering, okay? So what exactly is happening? It was a huge playground sort of an area. Everybody has gathered, okay? There to that place at that time, one sadhu came, okay, with full saffron clothes and all. He was a sannyasi. He came with a kamandalu and danda, okay? And he traveled, okay? He walked from so many villages and he came there. So he was very tired. He was thirsty. Okay, so he went to one of those shops and asked them for water. And that shop keeper is also like closing the shop. He's in hurry. He's like, okay, water. Wait. Fast. I'll give you water because I need to go now. Right. And that time, this sadhu was seeing everybody was running towards that playground. Okay. So this sadhu asked that shopkeeper, why are you in a hurry? Where is everybody going? What is happening there in that place? Right. So that shopkeeper said, you don't know, are you new to this place? Then that sadhu is like, yes, I'm a traveler. So the shopkeeper said, okay, there is this male goat fight is happening, right? In villages, we have this betting, right? Where goats are allowed to fight, and whichever goat wins, the owner of that goat will be considered the winner, and the loser needs to give him the pledged money. Okay, so this is like a betting that happens. It's a gambling, actually. It's wrong. Okay, so that was happening. So everybody is running. It's very exciting to see what's happening. So the shopkeeper said, even I'm going. Okay, then the sadhu is like, oh, is it? I also want to join. Okay, he's a sadhu. Okay, and he's so interested in gambling match. Okay, and then out of curiosity, and then the shopkeeper said, okay, fine, come, I will take you. Okay, so they go and join the gathering. The match happens. Okay, the fight begins. One will lose and one will win, definitely. And then the lost male goat, right? The lost male goat, he's very angry. The winner is taken, goes home, okay? But the lost male goat is still in the playground. People are all going, okay? Slowly they're all moving because the fight is over, right? But only few people are around, and the shopkeeper also will be there with him, okay? So that time, this lost goat, the loser goat is very, very angry, very frustrated, okay? And what do these male goats do? When they are very angry, when they want to pick a fight or quarrel, they bend, right? They bow down, and then they walk a little backwards, and they start scratching the ground, and then they run forward, and they jump on the person whom they want to fight, right? So that's exactly what's going to happen now. This pandita is this sadhu is standing and staring at that goat, okay, and everybody else is trying to go, and there are just 5-6 people around him. And then he's like, okay, I wanted water, the shopkeeper gave me, but he never paid obeisances to me. I'm such a nice sadhu. I'm a sannyasi. I'm wearing saffron clothes and all. Nobody in this village is paying obeisances. Nobody is respecting me. What is this he's thinking? And at the same time, he's staring at that goat. And that goat is also staring at him. Okay. and that goat is bowing now. Okay. So now the sadhu is thinking, okay, nobody is respecting in my in this village, but this goat is respecting me. See, the goat is bowing down. Okay, so sadhu is sadhu gets full of false pride now. Okay, he's so proud of himself. Now the goat starts moving backwards. Okay, so now sadhu is like even more happy. Oh, the goat is moving backwards. See, I'm so great. No, I'm a great personality. So the goat doesn't want to stand in front of me. So much respect it has. Okay. And then he's saying all this, and the person next to him, right, that shopkeeper is saying, are you mad? Are you crazy? That goat, what will the goat even know whether you're a sadhu or not? You're just wearing those bright saffron clothes, no? So the goat is getting attracted to you. First of all, the goat has lost, the match. So it's in frustration. See what he will do if you don't move from your place. The sadhu is like, no, you've mistaken. The goat is respecting me. The goat moves a little backwards, scratches the ground, runs, hits the sadhu. Sadhu just flies in the air and falls down. And then the goat runs away. And then the sadhu is like fallen down, right? His become, I mean, his back is paining, his legs are paining. He's not able to get up from the place. And then these people in the village came and made him get up, stand, sit in a place, gave him water, and comforted him and all that. Then the shopkeeper started saying, are you mad? Do not have this false pride, right? That you are a great personality. Everybody has their own individuality, and we need to respect each of them the way they are, for the way they are, right? Then here then the sadhu is like, sadhu is actually supposed to teach others, but lessons from an ordinary shopkeeper, right? So this is a wonderful example to get out of all this false pride and ego and everything. What happened to the sadhu ultimately, right? What happened? He broke his back and everything, right? So we need to understand that everybody is equal. Do not think you are great, I am great. No, nobody is great over here. So we need to give respect, the amount of respect they deserve, and you're not respecting them, you're actually respecting the Paramatma in their body, right? So that is very, very important. And yeah, so that's very, very important. And here it's also said, right, Krishna, right, is the friend of everyone. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. They act as friends of everyone, right? Learned people, devotees of the Lord, act as friends of everyone because Krishna is acting. If Krishna is my friend, who are you to come and say you are my enemy? Krishna is only accepting me as his friend, right? So that way they consider everybody as their friends. Do not maintain any enmity, right? That's why devotees are always great. They're always great. So they don't make distinction between one nation and another, and one community and another. They just preach Krishna consciousness, right? And thus they are competent to see the lotus feet of the Lord. Such preachers in Krishna consciousness are called Paramahamsas. Who are Paramahamsas? Why are they called Paramahamsas? Why are great devotees called Paramahamsas? Anybody knows?
Mataji, as far as I know, I think they float above the ground.
Sorry?
They float above the ground. They are in the air.
But
Because
why
they
Paramahamsa?
because they see only the good in people, just like the swan can separate milk from water.
Very nice. Yeah, so a swan. Hamsa means swan, right? But what is swan known for? It's separates. If you give milk to swan, right, it extracts only the milk, leaving behind water. So that is the capability of a swan. Paramahamsa is just like that, right? Paramahamsa is the best of the swans. So they see only the good, even if they're, say, in a fish market. Okay, yeah, even if they're in a fish market, they for them, nothing material affects. Nothing material affects. They're always in the spiritual world. They're always in the spiritual path, right? And there also they go and preach Krishna consciousness, and their preaching becomes effective because they are Paramahamsas, right? Like Prabhupada. Prabhupada is Paramahamsa, right? So That's why Paramahamsas are they are they're very superior. They're superior Vaishnavas and Vimukta Sangha, right? Even if they are in a material association, in a material company, they are still very okay. They are very aloof from all of that. They rather inject their devotion into others, but they do not get affected by the materialistic attitude and behaviors from other material people. Okay, so here is given that they have nothing to do with the material conditions. Okay, they have nothing to do with the material conditions. So, like I know it's given in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? First canto, fourth chapter. So Shukadeva Goswami is a very liberated soul, right? He's a Paramahamsa actually, and he used to go from door to door to preach Krishna consciousness, right? From every door. So who lives in a house? Grihastha, right? Whoever lives in a house has a family life. He's called a Grihastha, right? So when he used to go to door to preach Krishna consciousness, he used to spend only 30 minutes in every house, not more. He used to go, stand near the door, call them. If they come out, yeah, well and good. If they don't come out, he used to wait for them for 30 minutes and then walk out. What is this 30 minutes? The amount of time taken for anybody to milk the cow, right? Does it take for a cow to be milked, right? It's just half an hour. So half an hour he used to stay, okay? And at the door, if grihasthas are like all good, obedient, they would come out and talk to Shukadeva Goswami, give him some, he's a mendicant, right? Give him some food, prasadam and all that. And in turn, Shukadeva Goswami used to talk about Krishna Katha, motivate them and preach Krishna consciousness and try to make them devotees, all in just half an hour, okay? And it is said that in the purport, Prabhupada says, when a Paramahamsa goes to a Grihastha's house, his job is to give association, not take association. As in, he needs to talk about Krishna consciousness, motivate them, convert them into devotees, but he should never get attracted to the material possessions of the Grihastha, right? The car, the bungalow, the gold, the kind of ambience, right? All that he shouldn't get allured by all that. If that, then it's equivalent, to taking poison or committing suicide, right? That's what it is said in the purport, right? So if a Paramahamsa ever gets attracted to all these possessions of the Grihastha, right, then that means he's not a Paramahamsa anymore. He's not a sadhu anymore, right? He's compared to a dead body. That means he's committed suicide, right? He's drunk poison. That is the meaning. So that's why Paramahamsas have this power. Even if they are put in a jewelry shop, they never even look at all the jewelry and say, oh, this is so nice. No, that also they will not say. Okay. So even if they say it's very nice, it means that that jewelry is for Krishna, right? They are purchasing jewelry to decorate their deities. Then they can say, oh, this is nice. This is nice. It looks good on Krishna, right? So that's how Paramahamsas are. That is the quality of Vaishnavas. That is why Krishna says, worship me, okay, I'm happy. But if you worship my pure devotees, Vaishnavas, then I'll be even more happy. Jumping, Krishna says, right? So that is the lesson we need to take back, because Krishna represents himself through these Vaishnavas. Prabhupada means what? Prabhupada, the lotus feet of the Lord, right? Krishna in the form of the Vaishnava, he's representing himself. So that Vaishnava is actually none other than Krishna's lotus feet itself. Can you imagine? So when you serve such great senior Vaishnavas, you automatically please Krishna and you will actually get Krishna prem. Okay. So it's very important to prioritize Krishna's Vaishnavas over Krishna. Okay. So it's said, no, in Damodar Lila, we see this. So Yashoda Mata was feeding Krishna, right? And then what happened? Then she suddenly remembers that she kept milk for boiling, right? Now milk is overflowing, right? So she immediately pushes Krishna to the side, goes and takes care of the milk, right? Switches off, turns off the stove and all that. Why does she do that? It is more important, no? She's doing Krishna Seva. Why does she stop? Anybody knows?
That was again for Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Sorry?
That milk was also for Krishna.
Milk is for Krishna, but milk is for Krishna as in she's again doing Krishna seva, no?
So she is the mother.
No? Yes, Prabhu?
Service to Krishna more important than serving Krishna.
Serving Krishna's devotees is more important. See, in Vrindavan, everything is spiritual. Everything has life. Milk is also having life, and that milk is given by a cow. Cow wants to serve Krishna. So if the milk overflows and, spills, how will that milk serve Krishna? How will that cow serve Krishna? Right? So she is going and taking care of that Vaishnava, cow, or the milk. Right? So that Vaishnava gets an opportunity to serve the Lord. When milk, Krishna that milk, or when Krishna, eats the butter made out of that milk, that's when that cow gets, the complete benefit of serving Krishna, right? So she is going and taking care of the milk. That means she's doing Vaishnava seva, right? More than milk. More than serving Krishna, she's serving Vaishnavas who want to serve Krishna. That's when Krishna becomes more pleased, right? This is what I was trying to explain. And also, any flower you offer to the Lord, any leaf that you offer to the Lord, right? Patram, pushpam, phalam, any fruit you offer to the Lord, right? Immediately the plant which has given that fruit, right? Or the plant that has given that flower, right? That plant is going to get a human form of life. Imagine, because the plant is not serving the Lord. Plant, similar instance is what she wanted to help the cow who wanted to serve the Lord, right? And by giving the flowers that plants give, okay? Okay, next shloka. Na vidyate yasya cha janma karma va na nama rupa guna dosha eva va tathapalokapyaya sambhavayaya swamayaya tanyanukulam tasmai nama pareshaya brahmane ananta shaktaye arupayoru rupaya nama ascharya karmane. Okay, anybody wants to repeat the shloka? Anybody wants to read the shloka before we go to the translation? Try. Anybody wants to try? It's good. This way we can also learn shlokas. Anybody? Okay, translation. The Supreme Personality of God, material birth, activities, name, form, qualities, or faults. To fulfill the purpose for which this material world is created and destroyed, he comes in the form of a human being like Lord Ram or Lord Krishna by his original internal potency. He has immense potency in various forms, all free from material contamination. He acts wonderfully. He is therefore the Supreme Brahman. I offer my respects to him. Anybody read the purport, please? Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
In the Vishnu Purana, it is said gunams as gunamscha dosams cha muni vyatita samasta kalyana gunatmaha. He, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has no material form, qualities, or faults. He is spiritual and is the only reservoir of all spiritual qualities, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.8 by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya na tuskritam. The Lord's activities of saving the devotees and annihilating the demands are transcendental. Anyone annihilated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead gets the same result as a devotee who is protected by the Lord. Both of them are transcendental promoted. The only difference is that the devotee goes directly to the spiritual planets and becomes an associate of the Supreme Lord, whereas demons are promoted to Brahmaloka, the impersonal effulgence of the Lord. Both of them, however, are transcendentally promoted. The Lord's killing or annihilating of the demons is not exactly like the killing of this material world, although he appears to act within the modes of material nature. He is nirguna, above the modes of nature. His name is not material. Otherwise, how would one get liberation by changing Hare Krishna, Hare Rama? The names of the Lord, like Rama and Krishna, are non-dependent from the person Rama and Krishna. Thus, by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one constantly associates with the Rama and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore becomes liberated. A practical example of Ajamila, who always remained transcendental to his activities simply by chanting the name Narayana. If this was the true of Ajamila, what is to be said of the Supreme Lord? When the Lord comes to this material world, he does not become a product of matter. This is confirmed throughout Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma cha na divyam avajanti mam mudaha manustum dhanum dustam. Therefore, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rama and Krishna, are our benefit, we should not consider him an ordinary human being. When the Lord comes, he does so on the basis of the spiritual potential. Sambhavami Atma Mayaya. Because he is not forced to come by the material energy, he is always transcendental. One should not consider the Supreme Lord an ordinary human being. Material names and forms are contaminated, but spiritual name and spiritual form are transcendental. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Next, let's do the next shloka also and then discuss. Nama Atma Pradipaya Sakshini Paramatmane Namo Giram Viduraya Manasaschetasam Api. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of God, the effulgent Super Soul, who is the witness in everybody's heart, who enlightens the individual soul and who cannot be reached by exercises of the mind, words, or consciousness. Anybody wants to read the translation?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Ramya Mataji. Yeah.
Mataji, the translation or the puppet, Mataji?
Perfect. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, cannot be understood by the individual soul through mental, physical, or intellectual exercises. It is by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that the individual soul is enlightened. Therefore, the Lord is described here as Atma Pradipa. The Lord is like the sun, which illuminates everything and cannot be eliminated by anyone. Therefore, if one is serious about understanding the Supreme, one must receive enlightenment from him as instructed in Bhagavad Gita. One cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by one's mental, physical, or intellectual powers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, let's go back. Yeah. So here it's given Krishna has no material birth, activities, name, form, qualities, or faults. So this is very important. Here it says Navityati cha janma karmava nanama rupe dosha evava. So here it says there is no nama rupa. There's no form, there's no guna, there is no qualities, right? So no qualities, no material name, no activities, matlab there is no material name, there is no material form, there is no material qualities, there is no material activities, right? That is what it is meant. No name, matlab not that, okay, Krishna doesn't have name, Krishna doesn't have form. No, he has, but he has transcendental form, something which we cannot perceive, right? Something which we cannot perceive, what we do, what we tend to understand as is, okay, no form. Okay, so it's not no form, it's no material form, right? He doesn't have any material form, material qualities, or any material falls either, right? So even when he comes down, right, he comes down using his Atma Maya. Prabhupada explains in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, Sambhavami Atma Maya. He comes down in through his, internal potency. Ajo api san ayayatma bhutanam ishvaro api san prakritim swam atishtaya sambhavami atmamaya. Right? So he comes down, but he and he has a form. We all can see him. When Krishna came down, everybody could see him, right? Even Shakuni, Duryodhana, everybody could see him. But what they saw was not a human form. Our form and Krishna's form are two different. They are very different. Okay, our form, our body is made of the Panchamahabhutas and everything, but his form is made of internal potency. It's spiritual. It is spiritual. Ours is material. So ours is made of blood vessels and all, right? When somebody pokes us or cuts our body, we bleed. But Krishna, blood doesn't come when somebody, because Krishna's body is not made of material elements. Okay, he's spiritual, so he doesn't age, right? It is said that in Kurukshetra, when Krishna was explaining Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, Arjuna was looking so old. Arjuna and Krishna are considered to be of same age. Okay, but was looking so old, right? But Krishna was looking like a 16-year-old boy. Can you imagine? Right? Like by that time, Arjuna was like probably 800 years or something, right? Almost end of their life or second half of their life, right? But both of them were of same age. But Krishna was looking like a 16-year-old boy. Can you imagine? Because he doesn't age. In spiritual world, when we get our spiritual body, we also will not age, right? That is very important. And yeah, so here it's given, no? He's the reservoir of all spiritual qualities. Yeah, all spiritual qualities. Like how we are full of all material qualities, Krishna is full of all spiritual qualities, right? And that's very important. So that is the difference between us and Krishna. As in, we are not very different from Krishna. Like because we are entangled in this material body, we have such differences. But otherwise, soul's nature and Krishna's nature are one and the same, Satchidananda Swarupa, right? Soul is qualitatively equal to the Lord, quantitatively different from the Lord. What is this tattva called as? Anybody knows? We are same as that of the Lord, but at the same time, we are different as well. What is this called? And who gave us this? Anybody? You can put your answer in the chat also. Okay, so it's called Achintya Beda Abeda Tattva. Yeah, Hari Bol. Achintya Beda Abeda Tattva. So Kirti Mataji, who gave us this Tattva?
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Mataji.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Very nice. And what does this explain?
Says that we are qualitatively one, but quantitatively we are different.
Yeah, exactly. We are qualitatively same. Okay, our qualities, Krishna's qualities are the same. Satchidananda, Ananda. Soul is always immersed in happiness, and soul looks for happiness, right? But quantitatively, we are different. That means the power possessed by us and Krishna are different. Krishna is very powerful, right? Krishna is like forest fire. Right? It can engulf the entire forest, but we are like a spark, right? So that is the difference between us and Krishna. So why this difference has come? Because we are entangled in this material body, right? Purusha prakriti stohi bhungte prakriti jan gunan. Karanam hi sango guna sango asya sad asad yoni janmashu, right? Karanam guna sango asya, because we Purusha prakriti stohi, right? We are a soul, right? Prakriti stohi, but we have come to the material world. We have come in contact with the material nature. Okay. Karanam guna sangoasya. What's the reason for us? Dhungte prakriti jan guna. Why are we enjoyed by the material nature? Material nature is controlling us, right? Like a puppet, right? They are doing everything. The three modes are doing everything, but we are suffering for that. Why? Because of illusion. We are thinking we are the doers. That's why we are suffering. So what is the reason for all this? Why are we losing this Satchidananda feature or experience? Why aren't we happy? Ananda means happiness, blissful, ever blissful. Why are we not happy? Why are we suffering? Why are we crying? Right? Karanam guna sango asya. Only because we have come in contact with the material nature. That is the only reason. Right? That is the only reason. Before coming in contact with this material nature, we were in Goloka, happily, serving the Lord over there. And we were very happy. Okay? Only because we came to this world, right? Sad asad yoni janmashu. We come in contact with good association and bad association, yoni. And we take birth in different yonis, right? Good species, bad species. And when we are in pig's body, we behave like a pig. When we are in, Devata's body, we behave like a Devata, right? When we are in human's body, we behave like a human. That means what is our real identity? We have forgotten. It's like water. Water, when water is put in a, say, circular container, it's a circular shape. When water is put in a square container, it takes a square shape, right? Then what is the real shape of water? Right? So we have also lost that. According to the body, we are adjusting our identity, and our behavior is transforming into the particular body we are resting in. We have taken shelter in. Right? So what is our real body then? It's like we don't even know our real identity. Can you imagine? Right? I think we discussed this in the last class, right? Like amnesia patients. Right? So amnesia, or you see some mad person on the road, doesn't know what he's doing, doesn't know where he belongs to, right? He's just there, right? Like same in the case with amnesia patients. They've forgotten everything in their past. They don't even know what they're doing, what they have to do, what nothing they know, right? And we feel pity, right? From as an outsider, if you see, we'll be like, oh, so sad. He doesn't even know who he is. He's forgotten his own identity. What about us? Exactly, the case is exactly the same. We have also forgotten everything. We are also having amnesia right now, right? We don't even know what we are, who we are, which age group we belong to, right? Whether we are female, whether we are male, nothing we know, right? Nothing we know. Now, right now, okay, fine. I'm in human body. I'm a girl. I'm a woman, all that. Say I take a dog's body in my next life, and I become a dog. I'm not a human anymore, right? So we feel pity for amnesia patients and mad people, but we are not feeling pity of our own selves. How foolish can we be? Amnesia patients do not feel pity of themselves. They don't even know they've forgotten the past. Same is the case with us. We do not even know we have also forgotten everything. We have also forgotten our own identity, right? So that's very important to, reawaken ourselves, revive our spiritual relationship with Krishna, right? Urdhvamulam adhashakam. So material world is just an inverted reflection of the spiritual world. It's not the real world. We are living in reflection. Can you imagine? We are just reflection. So how long does the reflection last? As long as the basis of that reflection is the spiritual world. Basis of the reflection is the real object. When you stand in front of a mirror, the mirror reflects you. If you're not even there in the front of the mirror, then what will the mirror even reflect? Right? As long as you are there, your reflection will be nice. As long as you are decked up, your reflection also looks nice and decked up. Right? So the originality should be given more importance. But here, ulta is happening. We are giving more importance to the reflection. That is the problem. Right? So give us this remembrance. Right? That's why Krishna comes to abolish this inverted banyan tree. Krishna says, no, in 15th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Urdhvamulam adhashakam. There is an inverted banyan tree. I mean, there is a banyan tree, Arjuna, but it's inverted. Right? Inverted means Urdhvamulam, roots upwards, and shakam, branches downwards. Right? So what is this inverted banyan tree standing on? What are the roots of this inverted tree? Anybody knows? What are the roots? Anybody?
Mataji, can you repeat the question?
What are the roots of this inverted banyan tree? Roots are made of what?
Made of material world.
The banyan tree is the material world.
Okay.
Haribol, Kirti Mataji has got it right. Material desires. Not just material desires, unfulfilled material desires. Okay? Unfulfilled material desires. That's why this tree is very strong. The roots are very deep. Okay? Because we have so many unfulfilled material desires. That is the reason Krishna keeps creating this material world. Right? So when creation happens, some good people, when we get Bhagavad Gita and all that, some good smart people take to Krishna consciousness, completely surrender, devote themselves, and they go back home, back to Godhead. Okay, that is very less, say 10% of the population. Remaining population, what do they do? They keep taking birth in the 84 lakh species. They keep taking birth, dying. Janma Mrityu keeps happening. Okay, and one day Krishna has to completely abolish this material world, right? Destruction. And that time Krishna destroys. Okay, then where do we go? All the living entities, those people who were taking birth and dying, right? Those people, like all of us, we need to go into Narayana's stomach. Okay, so we all become Mahat Tattva. The entire material world after destruction gets condensed into a cloud-like form called Mahat Tattva, and it goes and takes shelter in Narayana. Okay. Then when again next creation upon the wills of the Lord, okay, whenever he wants, he will create. Next time when he creates, until next creation happens, we just have to, be there only in Narayana like a Mahat Tattva. We can't do anything. Okay. Until next creation. Again creation happens. Again this material world is created, and all of us know which condensed, all of us will be released into this material world, impregnated into the material world. We will get our material body. Again, Janma Mrityu starts. Okay. And again, maybe some people are smart enough to take Krishna consciousness and they go back home, back to Godhead. Again, remaining people are there, right? Until everybody finishes their, unfulfilled material desires. Material creation, destruction keeps happening. Can you imagine? This is the reason why material creation has happened. Because of our unfulfilled material desires. If you want to go to spiritual world, you should not have any material desire. I want to enjoy. That shouldn't be there. Even the smallest of the enjoyment shouldn't be there in your mind. Okay. Everything should be devoted to Krishna. As long as this little tinge is there in your mind, you will be stuck here only, taking birth again and again, dying, taking birth, dying, taking birth. Janma Mrityu. Okay. So how to, that's why it is said by taking an act of detachment. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said, you can cut off this banyan tree, right? Detachment from the material world. That means your desires, unfulfilled material desires, get transformed into spiritual desires. Okay. It's not that you can give up desires. Nobody can give up desires. Prabhupada says, if you are giving up desires, that means you're not a living entity, you're a dead stone. Only a stone can be without desires, right? So you cannot give up desires. Transform your desires, okay? Transform them into spiritual desires. Channelize them towards spirituality. Channelize them towards serving the Lord, right? The same desire that you had to enjoy, right? Now channelized to serving the Lord. No, I don't want to enjoy. I want Krishna to enjoy this. I want to give this to Krishna so that he can enjoy this. That is how you can channelize. Right? And when you channelize, when everybody channelizes their desires towards serving the Lord, then Krishna has no need to create this material world. Everybody will be there in Krishna's house, Krishna's home, and we will be enjoying there, serving the Lord. Can you imagine? So to make this happen, Krishna comes down. Sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna says, right? Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya chituskritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Why does he come down? For this very purpose, to reclaim the fallen souls back home, back to Godhead. To invite us, to personally take us back home, back to Godhead. That's why he comes. That's why he performs pastimes, so that we get attracted. Right? Krishna says, Madchitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanti Paraswaram. Discuss Krishna, discuss my leelas, discuss my pastimes with devotees. Right? What you'll discuss if Krishna has not performed any pastimes? So he performs a lot of pastimes to attract us. And then we get attracted. Right? We keep talking about Krishna. Shravanam Kirtanam. Right? If there is nothing to do Shravanam Kirtanam, what you'll do, right? So Shravanam Kirtanam you keep doing. And then you can go back home, back to Godhead, right? So this is the way Krishna, this is a strategy that Krishna has. That's why he comes down to invite us back home, back to Godhead, right? And so Shravanam Kirtanam is not limited to pastimes. It's also mere nama gana, we say, right? Just by in bhava stage, one of the characteristics is namagana sadaruchi. Always you have the taste to chant the holy name of the Lord. Namagana sadaruchi. Constantly chanting the holy name of the Lord. So here it is said, Krishna and Rama are not different from the person Krishna and Rama. Very, very important. Right? So Nama Chintamani Krishna, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto, Abhinnatva Nama Namine. Nama Chintamani Krishna, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto. Right? Purna Shuddha, it's all purifying. Nitya Mukta, it's all liberating. Right? Eternally you get liberated. Adhinnatva Nama Namine. The name of the Lord and the person are not different. The Lord and the Lord's name are not different because Krishna has invested all his potencies in his name, right? Nama, in Chaitanya Shikshashtakam it comes, right? Krishna has invested all his name. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis. Nija Sarva Shaktis, all his energies are just in the name. So you can associate with the Lord just by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Just by chanting the holy name of the Lord, right? So that way, so the key takeaway from this purport is that only because the name is not different from the Lord, when Gajendra chanted the holy name of the Lord, when Gajendra started calling out Krishna, right? Through his name, he called out Krishna. Krishna came. Krishna just came, right? Krishna came on his Garuda to take, him out of this material contaminated world, right? So that is what we need to understand, right? So Uttama Shloke. So elephant, Gajendra was an elephant. It is said that elephant is lower to human being. But here I don't see any difference. In fact, he is higher to the human being, right? Because he could see, he could recall the prayers, he could chant, and he could, go back home, back to Godhead, right? Uttama Shloke. With the choicest of the words, he is glorifying the Lord, right? With the choicest of the words, he is glorifying the Lord. And what do you call us? Nothing, right? In front of Jendra. So the next purport is also similar, right? Where it says the Supreme Personality of Godhead is self-effulgent. Okay? Krishna says, no, Natad bhashe te suryo na shashanko na pavaka yad gatvana nivartante tadhama paramam mama. Right? He's self-effulgent. The light coming out from the body of the Lord is enough to illuminate the entire Goloka, Vaikunta, the spiritual world. Right? And that's why there is no need of sun, moon, or pavaka, electricity, to illuminate the spiritual world. All that is needed here in the material world, because material world is very dark. Okay, and he says he cannot be reached by exercises of the mind, words, or consciousness. So this reminds me of an incident. Once what happened, Narada Muni goes and asks Krishna. Okay, he asks Krishna, "Where do you live, Krishna? Where do you even stay?" Right? Anybody knows what Krishna answers?
He
Anybody?
stays in everybody's heart.
No.
No.
He doesn't stay. Yeah, Paramatma feature stays. That is Vishnu feature, not direct Krishna. Okay, so Krishna says, Naham tishtani vaikunte yoginam hridayeshu va tatra tishtami narada yatra gayanti madbhakto. Right? Tatra tishtani narada yatra gayanti madbhakto. So Krishna says, Naham tishtani vaikunta. I'm not staying in Vaikunta. See, Krishna is saying, oh Narada, I'm not staying in Vaikunta. Yoginam hridayeshu va. I'm not staying in this the hearts of the yogis either. Where does he even stay then? Tatra tishtani Vaikunta yatra Narada yatra gayanti madbhakto. I stay there where my devotees are glorifying me, my activities, my pastimes, my name, my form, my qualities. Can you imagine? That's where Krishna stays, right? Tatra tishtani Narada yatra gayanti madbhakto. So that's where Krishna really is. So that's why it is said over here, Krishna cannot be reached by exercises of mind, words, and consciousness. That is very material. You cannot expect your material ability to take you and help you achieve something which is beyond material, transcendental, right? So you need to practice bhakti, Shravanam Kirtanam. Yeah, Shrinanti, Gayanti, Grinanti, ya Sadhava. Prabhu, you know the shloka? Giridhar Prabhu?
Mataji, I know Mataji, but I have to Remembrance is the problem, Mataji. I'm
Yeah,
still practicing.
तद्वाक् विसर्गो जनताग विप्लवा यस्मिन् प्रतिश्लोका बद्धवत्यपि नामान्यनन्तस्य यतो अंकितानि यत् शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्ति साधवः. Right? नामान्यनन्तस्य यशो अंकितानि यत् शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्ति साधवः. Right? Tadvag visargo janataga viplava. So here it says any shloka or anything that glorifies you can create a revolution in people, right? Janataga viplava. Next is yasmin prati shloka abaddhavatyapi. Yeah, fine. What we are glorifying, the words that we are using, the way we are pronouncing shlokas are not right. They are definitely faulty. Pronunciation is not right. Fluency is not there. Abaddhavatyapi. It's not up to the mark. It's okay. Namanyanantasya yasho ankitani. Right? But every nama, every holy name of yours that we want to glorify, right? Shrinvanti gayanti grinanti sadhava. Sadhava, good people, devotees, listen to it. Gayanti, they sing the glories of you. And grinanti, accept it. Right? They are not perfect compositions because we are after all material people. Definitely we cannot be perfect. But still, sadhava, people who are devoted to the Lord, right? They accept it. That's why Krishna says, no, Atha Shri Krishna Nama, in Rupa Goswami says, Atha Shri Krishna Namadi, na bhavet grahyam indriya. Sevon mukhi hijihvadav, Atha eva hispurati yada.
Svayam eva spurati yada.
Right? Atha Shri Krishna Namadi, na bhavet grahyam indriya, sevon mukhi hijihvadav. My name, form, qualities, everything, it cannot be revealed to normal people. He is very covered by Yoga Maya and everything. But Swayam eva hi spurati yada. When he will himself reveal, when Sevon mukhi hijihada, when we turn inwards to serve the Lord, when that service attitude develops, when you serve the Lord sincerely, without any expectation in return, right? When you do not expect anything in return and serve the Lord, that's when Krishna reveals himself. Right? That's what Krishna says, right? So if you are giving patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, everything, right, with love and devotion, right? He searches, with, like Advaita Acharya, where he cried out to the Lord, asked him to come down. He just worshipped the Lord with Tulsi and Ganga Jal, nothing else, right? We are also worshipping every day. We are also crying, nothing. Krishna is not coming, right? Why? Because that is the power of devotion. Krishna extracts only the love, right? When Advaita Acharya cried, he is a pure devotee, purest devotee of the Lord. So he extracted the love and devotion. And normally when people serve him with Tulsi, right? Krishna actually searches everywhere. Oh, this person is giving me Tulsi. What can I give him in return? He searches everywhere, okay? What to give? What is more valuable than Tulsi? What is more valuable than this love that he is giving me? Then he comes to a conclusion that I cannot find anything equal to the love this person is giving me, right? Seriously, this is what Krishna thinks. And then Krishna says, okay, because I did not find anything, I will give myself to him. Can you imagine? That's what Krishna says. I will give myself to him. And that's how Krishna, that's why Krishna belongs to the Vaishnavas. We saw that, right? In Aho Vaishnava Thakur Bhajan, Krishna belongs to the Vaishnavas. And when you surrender to Vaishnavas, they can give you Krishna, right? So, and Krishna also promises that with this last 2 minutes, I'll be winding up. So I think initiation class will start now. So Krishna says, right, in Bhagavad Gita, Shipram bhavanti dharmatma, what is that? Shipram bhavati dharmatma, shashvat shantim nigachyate. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Right? Whatever happens, Kshipram bhavati dharmatma. Whatever wrong things my devotees do, they will never fall down. Right? They will never fall down because they will somehow or the other come back to this path of spirituality. Right? So what does he say? He says they quickly become righteous, and that's why Kaunteya pratijanahi. Arjuna, you declare, okay, you declare boldly that my devotees will never perish. Okay, that's why Krishna says, Arjuna, you promise. I might break my promises, But my devotees, when they promise, I will make sure they don't break it. I will walk till the end of to make sure my devotees do not break the promises they make. Right? So that's why Krishna says, Arjuna, you promise, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. My devotees will never perish. So Krishna assures us we will never fall down. Right? So example, Bali Maharaj. When Bali Maharaj gave everything to Krishna, everybody thought, okay, Bali will become pauper now. Such a great king, he will lose everything now. Right? Did he lose anything? No. What did he gain? He gained 1,000 times more than what he lost, right? More bigger kingdom, more opulence. Leave all that. He got Krishna himself. Vamanadev himself came as doorkeeper, right? Haridas Thakur offered Nama Japa, right? With love, with complete wholehearted love and affection. And then what did he get? Everybody thought, okay, he was beaten up in 21, 22 marketplaces. That's what he got. No, he got an opportunity to die on the lap of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What more can we get? Even if we ask for, I don't think, we can get more than this. He got an opportunity to die on the lap of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu carried him personally to the graveyard, right? And did all the Antim Sanskar and all that, right? And that is what devotees gain by surrendering to the Lord, by giving away everything to the Lord. This is exactly what devotees gain, right? So the fruit seller story also we've seen. She gave little fruits and she got everything more, right? So yeah, on this note, I will end. Any questions? Yeah. Yeah. Any questions? Anybody? Any additions? Anything you want to add? Nothing? Okay, then we can end the class. Okay. Okay, next class we will do the 11th shloka and we will continue. Okay. Kalpadrubhyascha kripasindhubheva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnav ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining and we will continue.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. Thank you. All Sadachar devotees
Thank
can.
you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the lovely class, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radhika Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Indra Mataji, I'll make you the host, co-host, or how is it?
You make me host, please.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible, visible?
Yes.
Yeah, very much visible and very much audible.
Can we start or we wait for 2 minutes?
It is 8:10 only.
We will wait for how many devotees have joined now?
8:15 the class is Satish. You can't start.
Five have joined.
Okay, we'll wait for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam. I'm sorry I couldn't attend your call today.
That's okay, Prabhuji.
I'd like to hear, Prabhuji, you're speaking about the glories of Guru Maharaj. Something I didn't hear much of, so I'd like to attend the class.
Yes, Prabhuji. Most welcome. And Prabhuji, tomorrow you are coming to ISKCON Kormangla?
No, Prabhuji, I'm going to Srirangapatna with ISKCON Sheshadripuram.
Okay, you're going to near the river bank for the program.
Yes, for the Snan, I'll be going there. Prabhuji, are you going to Kormangla?
I'll try to go in the evening.
Okay, if you do, ask for Abhayada Prabhuji. He will
Who?
be Abhayada Prabhuji, Abhayada Gopal Das Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. I think the Zoom live is still going. I mean, YouTube live is still going on, is it?
I'm not sure.
Yes, Mataji.
It is, it is.
Can
It
you
is.
make me the host? I'll just stop the YouTube live.
Okay.
You are the host.
Yeah.